This is my sidebar cutting jig. I basically put a block of wood in there and use the tram lines to cut a joint in the middle, just there, for the top bar. And for the bottom bars, I use the jig tram line on one side with the router to cut one joint, turn the piece of wood around and cut the other side. And that jig is very useful, and I've been using it for 25 years, something like that. Very useful indeed. Right, simple jig. You can do the tenon joint of a Morrison tenon joint with one of these sort of jigs. I find them very useful. I've made quite a few and used them. Right, let's move on to something else now. Yeah, something else. Right, I've got a whole pile of these, and I've got to shape them into Hoffman sidebars. Now, for years, I've used a bandsaw and just cut the shape down the side and down there. Because National frames have this channel down the side, you can't do it as a block of wood, cut the shape and such like. You have to do them individually, which is a bit of a pain. And I get them done quite quickly on a bandsaw. But this year, or today, or whatever, I decided to make a jig. Like a bloody fool. It took me ages to make it and work it out. But here it is, the jig that I made. For starters, I'm using a palm router. Small little thing. Cheap, nasty, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I've got. The next bits I have are some stainless steel. And I worked it out so it's a tram line going through. And it goes past a half-inch cutter, router cutter. I know it's not switched on, so I can fiddle with it all I like. Surplus stuff. Everything is surplus here. I've made it from scrap what I've had around. And I've not bought anything for this particular thing. Oh, that's a lie, that is. I had to buy some more 25mm by 3mm bar that goes in the bottom of this, because the bit I had wasn't quite long enough. Anyway, I bought some. Right, bits that are missing from this. I'll show you how it fits first of all. Right, you've got the sidebar that you want to shape. So it just slots in there. I'm trying to do this one-handed and look at the TV. I look at the screen at the same time. That fits in there, and it's nice and snug. The same applies to a brood frame. So we're just using a super brood frame. There's positions for this bit, moves along to there, and we can do brood frames as well. So that would push through there and cut that shape that you can see marked in Panksaw just here. And it'll cut the shape out, no problem at all. Now I've got pieces of wood that I've set up for stops. So that stop would fit just there. Nice and snug if that's the right way around. If it isn't, it is. I've got a safety device. I protect myself from brushing my hand into this router going round. I put put that over the top of that, so I can't accidentally touch it. I can still touch this bit of wood. So when this slides through, and of course it can't slide through because the piece of wood is too big and it's not switched on. So I'll put that one in instead and show you how it moves forward. That's one, or a rough one I did earlier on. Second thought, I'll switch it on and we'll see how it's done. Now I shaped the handle just like you'd find an old plane. Actually copied it straight off the plane, but scribbled it round. So my hands are out the way as I'm doing it. Okay, so let's switch it on and see how we get on. It's going to be noisy, so I apologise for the noise. All right, here we go. There we go. That's one side done. Let's turn it over and get the other one done. There you go, that's it, job's done. I can take my headgear off now and not be shouting. That's what we've done. We've shaped it. I'm quite pleased with that sort of finish and result. Thank you for watching. I know it's quite boring, but you know, I like my woodworking. But it took me ages to do this. I could have done it all quicker if I just done my old bandsaw way. But I wanted something neat and tidy. From now on, I'm having it neat and tidy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't mind me saying. Thank you. Bye-bye. Back to the studio.